Okay, mute everybody here. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Virjam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Mritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad-gite bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Who would like to chant today? Anybody who hasn't chanted in a while? Okay. Haraprasad, go ahead. Unmute yourself. From number 20. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim
Manaivahitam siddhim
Asthita janakadayah
Astita janakajayah
Lokasangrahamevapi
Lokasangrahamevapi
Sampashyan kartumarhasi
Sampashyan kartumarhasi
Yadyadacharati sreshtha
Yadyada charati shreshtaha
Tattadevetaro janaha
Tattadeve taro janaha
Sayat pramanam kurute
Sayat pramanam kurute
Lokastadanu vartate
Lokastadanu vartate
Name parthasti kartavyam
Name parthasti kartavyam
Trishu lokeshu kinchana
Trishu lokeshu kinchana
nanavaptamavaptavyam
nanavapyamavapyavyam
varta eva cha karmani
varta eva cha karmani
yadi hyaham na varteyam
yadi hyaham na varteyam
jatu karmanyatandritaha
jatu karmanyatandritaha
mama vartmanu vartante
mama vartmanu vartante
manushyaः partha sarvashah.
manushyaः partha sarvashah.
Today we will do 24. Utsideyuhu
Utsideyuhu
ime lokaha
ime lokaha
na kuryam
na kuryam
karma chedaham
karma chedaham
sankarasya cha
sankarasya cha
kartasyam
kartasyam
upahanyam
upahanyam
imah prajaha
imaf prajah
utsideyurime lokaha
utsideyurime lokaha
na kuryam karma chedaham
na kuryam karma chedaham
sankarasya cha kartasyam
sankarasya cha kartasyam
upahanyamimah prajaha.
upahanyami maf prajah.
Yeah. So last few shlokas, Krishna has been alternating between two things. One thing he says, tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. So verse number 19. So you do what is to be done. That has been the theme all along. And if you think you're a wise person, and because he quotes Janakadayaha in verse number 20. So if you think you know it all, then also you must do what is to be done. Because you're not a sannyasi. Only a sannyasi can say, I have nothing, I have no duties. Sannyasi. So beautiful. Our Shastram allows that. It gives duties to all of us. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, all duties are given constantly. And then the minute one takes sannyasa, the Vedas takes away all the duties. Now you don't have any more duties to do. Not even duties towards your parents and children. That kind of authority the Veda says. That kind of statement it makes. So nothing. You are free now. You can do what you want. But of course, the sannyasi will pursue the shastram, no doubt. But duty-wise, nobody can ask the sannyasi to do anything. So here he says, Janaka was not a sannyasi, wise person, but not a sannyasi. Therefore, he had to do what is to be done. So Arjuna, if you think you know it all, then still you have to do loka sangraham eva pi. People are looking up to you, therefore you must do what is to be done. And because yadyad acharati shreshtaha tattadeve tarojanaha. Because people are looking up to you. Okay. Then Krishna says, I have nothing to do. I have nothing. He doesn't say I am a jnani and all. He doesn't say. He just says I have nothing to do. Trishu lokeshu kinchana. He says. So we understand that Ishvara has nothing to do. But he says, yet I have to do something. I am in this role of an avatara. I may be Ishvara. Not everybody knows I am Bhagavan and all that. I am avatara and all that. People don't know all these things. But I have nothing to do. Yet I have come in a particular role for a particular job, and I have to do, as long as this avatara, this upadhi is there, I have to do what is to be done. And otherwise, I will cause destruction. He's going to say that. And 23rd, he already said. He said that mama Vartmaa anuvartante. Why I should do? Because mama Vartmaa. Vartmaa is a word that means my lifestyle, my life, people will follow. Ayanam. Vartmaa means Ayanam. All of you have heard of Ramayanam. So that Ayanam. Vartmaa means Ayanam. Chandrayanam, Uttarayanam, Dakshinayanam. That Ayanam means the life of Rama, the journey of Rama. So here also Vartmaa means Ayanam. Mama Ayanam. My journey, people will follow. They are looking up to me. And then he's giving another, continuing that train of thought in Shloka number 24. So he is going to say, he's going to use a very strong word here. What will happen to such people? People who follow, people are always following somebody or the other. So that's why leadership is so important in any country. And so he says, Utsi deyuhu ime lokaha. Correct? Ime lokaha. These people, lokaha here means not Indraloka ityadi, Bhuloka ityadi. Lokaha means people. People are also referred to by the word lokaha. The world of people, you can say. So these people, utsi deyuhu, they will perish, they will get destroyed. Okay. It's a very interesting word Krishna uses. Seed. How many of you are studying Sanskrit formally? Yeah, so quite a few, more than half. Okay. So the seed, sad, the sad dhatu in Sanskrit, it means visharana gati avasanayoho, loosening, movement, and destruction, removal, destruction. And so that sad, Upanishad, that same root is there in the word Upanishad. And that sad is here, becomes seed here, okay? But sad, Upanishad, I'll explain some other time. It means the complete destruction of that, of the ignorance of that which is closest to you, which is you. So ignorance of the, destruction of the ignorance of the self. That is the literal meaning of the word Upanishad, okay? So that same sad root is here, Utsi deyuhu, sad, okay? People will perish. That is his statement here. Why should people perish if I don't do what I'm supposed to do? Well, leaders, people are looking up. Everybody needs role models, and people are driven by likes and dislikes. Raga-dwesha, using the language of Bhagavad Gita. People are driven by likes and dislikes. So if there is no role model out there, then it's only a matter of time. People will get insane. So Swamiji says, there is no destruction for a human being other than insanity. Other than insanity. Body is going to disappear anyway sometime. Nobody can stop it. But the mind can be all right. The mind can enjoy life, regardless of how the body is. But that won't be possible for these people who are following me, because they are only driven by raga-dweshas, and some role model has to be there to say, okay, we must not do this, we must do this, and we must save water, we should not waste water. People must say, the government should come and say something or the other. Then only people can understand. Otherwise, every country has illiterate people, and so they can't, especially in a country like India, we can't expect everybody to become suddenly aware of all these problems. Only the government has to has to keep communicating the messages that are very important for the survival of the country. So that insanity will set in. And now, who decides who is insane and who is normal? What is the meaning of insanity? Insanity. Well, objectivity and subjectivity. Correct. Objective. When I make a statement that is true to the fact, then the person is said to be objective, and otherwise the person is subjective. So we all have subjectivity in our relationships. There is a lot of subjectivity or not? There is subjectivity, because we never see things exactly the way it is. We don't know. Even if you say this is a cell phone, if I say that this is a cell phone, it is true, but I really don't know the object. I don't know how it is made. I don't know all the pieces that are there in this. I know, in fact, what I don't know about the cell phone is a lot more than what I know about the cell phone. Correct? I know its utility, I know, and I use it. That's all. So, if an electrical engineer says this is a cell phone, that statement is different from my saying this is a cell phone. They mean two different things, and I am only referring to a very small portion, the utility portion of the cell phone. And even there, you show it to Arya. Arya will teach us how to use a cell phone. All the features I did not know, she knows. All the icons that are there, the what do you call those apps? She will tell us more. So it's very clear that knowledge is very limited of anything, and so we are objective to some extent. We try to be objective, and so and it is true with relationships also. Very true with relationships. And we are constantly projecting our fears on other people. Two people are walking on the street. It's 9:30 in the night. There is nobody in the street except these two people, and it's dark. And one street light here, some other street light there. Now what? Now this person A has some fear. Why? Because that person is heavily built and is coming and is walking. So we don't know. That person also has the same fear and he's walking. Look at that. B is afraid of A and A is afraid of B. Tell me why. Because A is projecting his or her fear on B. B is projecting his or her fear on A. Which means there's really no reason for fear, but there is fear. Correct? And what will he do to me? I can keep watching. So this constantly happens. And we never know, especially in relationships, subjectivity can be very high, because no human being can know another human being completely. Impossible. And so we just allow things to be the way they are. And we try our best we say don't judge other people, because there is no room for judgment. We really can't judge other person. We don't have the data to judge another person. And even if we have all the data, still also we can't judge. You can only make a statement. This is how I feel. I feel what you're doing is not right. I feel what you're doing is hurting people. This we can say. You can only say I feel. And you have to be careful before you make an assertive statement. So, and you can never say a person is completely insane also. Why? Because so we go to a place and all these so-called insane people are there, okay? And they are laughing, smiling, all these things they are doing, okay? Now, food is served and everybody eats food with their hand, right hand or whatever, prominent hand, and then everybody puts the food in their mouth only. An insane person should put the mouth in the ear, no? Something like that should happen. And put the food in the ear, eyes, They don't do that. How come? So that person has enough knowledge to know how to have food and what food to have, when everything the person knows. So clearly the insane person, the so-called insane person, so we've all labeled them as insane. But they also have some knowledge, and they're also some amount of logic is there in their life also. Therefore, nobody can be completely insane. So we all lock ourselves in a room and say, let's call all of us sane people, you know, and everybody else there is insane, right? So we need to be careful. And coming to Vedanta, it becomes even more clear. Because mithya, I take mithya to be satyam. I take mithya to be satyam. And so, and even before going there, and somebody says, money makes me secure. Money will make me completely secure. Look at that. Look at how subjective a statement that is. Money can give me security. Money can give me some freedom, is correct. Money can give me some, I can protect myself. I can have a good home, etc. I can hire some people. All this I can do. So that kind of comfort it can give. Correct statement. But money will make me secure. And that's a false statement. That's a pipe dream, you know. So we are subjective. Anybody who thinks like that has a lot of subjectivity. So the line that separates what? Sanity and insanity is very thin, correct? Very thin line. And so Swamiji would say there is a streak of madness in all of us. A streak of madness, all of us. So just the right conditions, and that's it. We don't know how we will behave. And so Utsi Deyuhu, very important, Krishna's word there. And people will get destroyed. Now, what about values? What about all these things? You know, people are dharmic and all that. Yeah, dharma is important. People should be dharmic. And this book, remember last time we talked about this Hitler. There is Elie Wiesel. There are many books written on this Holocaust, etc. And Elie Wiesel, he is a Nobel Prize winner, Peace Prize, 1986 or something. And he's a Romanian born, then American, etc. And he was he was caught in this concentration camp. So Auschwitz, and then he got shifted from Auschwitz to Buchenwald, etc. And there his experiences. Boy, he's a 16-year-old boy, and his father is there, and his mother and sister were shot and killed, and his father was being strangled and beaten up, and this boy is sitting and he's watching. Couldn't do anything because he had to protect himself. And he writes a book, small thin book called Night, Night. Okay, how many of you have heard of that book? It's called Night, Night. That's all. It's thin book. I had read that book some time ago, because these thick books, you know, sometimes you can't read thick books, and just some inertia is there. And thin book means, yeah, I think I can finish this book, and so I did finish it. So there he says, and his experiences, and he says, all values are destroyed. Okay, all values are destroyed. There is no value. God does not exist. You live and die for yourself in this place, because there's nobody to protect you. That's it. You don't know what's going to happen. This is the type of system that kind of that Hitler had created. And so that's how bad things can get. I mean, it's possible. So if the people are not people who are in leadership positions, if they don't do the right thing, then damage can happen, all kinds of damage overnight. And so this, I was in Germany in 2015. I had a chance to go there as part of my work. And the factory, the company was just about, I mean, I landed in Munich, and I looked around for this Dachau. There is a concentration camp called Dachau or Dachau, Dachau. I wanted to go there, just 30-40 kilometers from the airport, from Munich airport. And I couldn't go, even though I was there for a week. That was I so much wanted to go there. Have anybody traveled and seen any concentration camp? Okay. Yeah, so Ramesh ji is raising his hand. So one of you has done it. So all this, they talk about utter shame, utter humiliation, and total helplessness, whatnot. That kind of situation was there. And and we need to know some of the history, because they say he who does not know history will be doomed to repeat history. So we all need to share these things with our children. And so Utsideyuhu, one who, Krishna is talking about himself. Hey, if I don't do what is being done, people are going to destroy themselves. What a strong statement that is. And so this destruction, we need not be immediate. For example, if just in our own eating habits, if we are not good, then nothing will happen. It won't show up in the body overnight. It takes years before all these symptoms start manifesting. And there is a lady here, and her sugar is 300, and she's helping. She's an attendant, poor lady, and some medicine she's taking, and I looked at her medicines, and so she's now beginning to change her lifestyle. And until these things manifest, we don't seem to do anything. And so these things take time. And cutting trees, what will happen if you cut one tree? One person cuts a tree, 10 people cut trees, and then like this it goes on. And Chennai has become what Chennai is today. And then now there are all kinds of problems, flooding and this and that. So not everything needs to happen right away. So the so-called destruction can take time. And Bhagavan also. So there is a statement in Tamil. Arasan andru kolvan. Arasan andru kolvan, Deivam nindru kollum. Like that, there is a statement. So some of you are shaking your head. And so, Arasan, the government, the judge, okay, the legal system, andru kollum, it kills instantly. Because once the judgment is passed, then the judgments will be executed. Whatever the punishment is will get executed immediately. But Deivam means Bhagavan, Ishvara. Bhagavan nindru kollu. Nindru means will wait. Wait. Things take a while. Things take a while to manifest. So look at this shloka here. Krishna says, Sankarasya cha karta syam. See, Utsideyu rime lokaha. And people will destroy themselves. How or when? Nakuryam karma ched aham. Aham, I, karma na kuryam ched. If I don't do anything, what is to be done by me? Karma here means dharma. Dharma based karma. If I don't do, then people will destroy themselves. And then what happens? Sankarasya cha kartasyam. Sankaraha. Does that word ring a bell? Sankaraha. Yes. Ani Mohini ji, etc. They're raising their hand. Good. Sankaraha. Where did we see Sankara? I think it must be 141 or something. Go back and look at. Yeah. So in 141 he says, Strishu dustashu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. Sankara. Not Shankara, okay? Sankara. Okay, be careful. Two different words. And Shankara means auspiciousness. Sankara means confusion. And so he says Varna Sankaraha. And then again in 42, Arjuna uses that word. Sankaro naraka yaiva. And again 43, Again, Varna Sankara Karakehi. Okay, he says that. So Arjuna has already used that word, Sankara. So there, Arjuna was saying, if I fight this battle, this war, if I take up, I'm going to cause confusion. Here Krishna is saying, if you don't do what is to be done, you are going to cause Sankara, confusion. Okay, the two opposite views, correct? So Varna Sankara. So there, just to recall, what did we say Varna Sankara was? The confusion that is born of not following the Varna Ashrama Dharma. So our society is functioning today because of some Varnashrama Dharma is there. The Kshatriyas do what they are supposed to do. Brahmanas, there's some Brahmanas who still do what they are supposed to do. That's why this society is functioning. And but it's shaken up also. So we are looking for where the children who should study Vedas, and so hard to find. And so that Brahmanatvam, Brahmana was supposed to study the Veda from day one. They are supposed to do it, and such people are hard to find. And so that Varna Sankara sets in, and so complete tamas will take over society if Arjuna, you don't do what you're supposed to do. Even if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, Sankara, that confusion will set in. Sankarasya karta. Very interesting way Krishna puts it. I will be the karta. I will be the agent of Sankara, agent of confusion. Agent of confused a society. I will be the cause. I will be the creator of a confused society. Somebody sent me Anjali sent me a video about America, and after all the things that have happened, elections, this, that, and all, and he uses a very interesting word. America it has an identity crisis. That was his message. Identity crisis, because when the leadership is not there, and it's irresponsible leadership. People look at the leadership as irresponsible. Then you've got a society that's just polarized. Everybody I talk to, they say just completely polarized American society, because it's become like that. Whatever be the reasons, and so that crisis, identity crisis, that thing came to me. So Sankara, are there many reasons for that kind of a situation in America? Because identity itself it's a manufactured identity in America. At least India, we all have an identity, which it's a ancient identity we have. So that is still continuing. So, but then we say children can have an identity crisis, because if they are exposed to so many things, but their basic foundation, Vedic foundation, is not clear, then they will have an identity crisis. So those kinds of things are there. So here, let's go back. Upahanyam imaf prajaha. Imaf prajaha aham upahanyam. Okay. So all this thing is vidhiling. Okay, Sanskrit students, vidhiling. Utsideyuhu. Correct? Utsideyuhu. Utsi. Utsidet. Utside tam. Utsideyuhu. Okay. So third person, plural. And so Utsideyuhu. And then same thing, Syam. Syam also is vidhiling. If I would be the agent of confusion in society. And then Upahanyam, I would be destroying the people. Now he's imputing the destruction to himself. Imaf prajaha aham upahanyam. So imaf prajaha, Sanskrit students, is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Even though Prathama Vibhakti also, same forms will be there. Okay. So let's look at this shloka. if I were not to perform action, okay, if I were not to perform action, so how does that work? Aham, last word in the first line. Aham karma na kuryam chet. Aham na karma kuryam chet. If I do not perform action, these people would perish. Ime lokaha utsideyuhu. Ime lokaha utsideyuhu. These people would perish. Full stop. I would be the author of confusion. Sankarasya cha karta syam. Within brackets, aham. I would be the author of confusion. Within brackets, in the society. Okay. And I would destroy these people. Imaf prajaha upahanya. I would destroy these people or these beings. So if I were not to perform action, comma, these people would perish. I would be the author of confusion and I would destroy these beings. Okay. So we can let's go to number 25 now. Who would like to chant? Somebody was not done in a long time. Okay, Sukanya, go ahead. Yeah. You can unmute yourself. Saktaha.
Saktaha.
Karmanya vidvamsaha.
Karmanya vidvamsaha.
Yatha kurvanti.
Yatha kurvanti.
Bharat.
Bharat.
Kuryat.
Kuryat.
Vidvamstatha.
Vidvamsthatha.
Asaktaha.
Asaktaha.
Chikirshu.
Chikirshu.
Loka sangraham.
Shloka sangraham.
Sakta karmanya vidvamsaha.
Sakta karmanya vidvamsaha.
Yatha kurvanti Bharat.
Yatha kurvanti Bharata.
Kuryad vidvamstatha saktaha.
Kurvad vidvamstatha saktaha.
Chikirshur loka sangraham.
Chikirshur loka sangraham.
Yeah, good. So he's continuing again the same argument that wise people should continue to do work for the benefit of the society. That's the message here. And in 322, let's look at Name Parthasti Etik 22. Yeah, in 22, Krishna says, Name Parthasti Kartavya. Hey Partha, there is nothing for me to do. Like that he said there. And we saw that at that time, that's because why Krishna has nothing to do? Well, Krishna is Sarvatma. Krishna is everything that is here is Atma. And Krishna knows that. And like the wave, the enlightened wave knows everything that is here is water. I am water, you are water, the whole ocean is water. Nothing other than water. And therefore, I am akarta. I'm not a doer. Very important. And so he said that. So now Arjuna can say the same thing. He can say, Name Krishna asti kartavyam. If Arjuna were enlightened, were wise, then he can say, Name Krishna asti kartavyam. Hey Krishna, I have nothing to do. He can say that. And I am also a jnani. Now, I am now no different than you, Krishna. Only different is you are an avatara and everybody worships you. And I am a different, my upadhi is different. That's the difference. Because individuality is there. Each wave is different, but fundamentally each wave is identical. And so he can say, Arjuna can say that, but then Krishna would say, yeah, you may be wise, but then you have to do what is to be done. And of course, people don't know whether Arjuna is Jnani and all that. People don't know all that. So they only follow people's actions. They follow what you do. They observe your actions, Arjuna's actions closely. And so you must do. Okay. And look at this. So here, Bharata. Krishna addresses Arjuna as Bharata. So this word Bharata has two meanings. One meaning we've already seen before. And Bharata Vamsha Kulodbhava. So Bharata Vamsha Kulodbhava. So one who is a descendant of the Bharata, the family, the dynasty of Bharata. That is Bharata. So indicating indirectly that, hey, your ancestors, they were all, Bharata and all did what is to be done. And they, even though, and so much that, and Rama Avatara, Rama also was an Avatara, but Rama did what is to be done. And his brother did what is to be done, Bharata. Like this, you are that kind of a person. And Bharata also means, Bha means Brahmavidya. Bha means Brahmavidya. And Bharat, Bramhavidyayam ramate iti Bharat. The one who revels in the knowledge of Brahmavidya. Brahma, knowledge of Atma, so to speak, knowledge of Brahma. One who revels. Once you know, then you know what you are, and you revel in that knowledge. So Ram Dhatu, Rata is the past participle of the word Ram. Ram, the same root of Rama, which has Rama, etc. Ram. So this rum is an interesting word. They have this drink called rum, and I'm kind of wondering, this fellow who called it rum must be a genius. I think he, right. I mean, I don't know. We need to find out. If he's still around, we should interview him. And he said, what made you pick up that word rum? And because it's amazing. It's so uncanny. It is. My goodness. So anyway, so Bramhavidyayam ramate. So that person is also called Bharata. So either way you can take it. And so here he's talking about Saktaha and Asaktaha. This we have seen before. And Saktaha. Who are Saktaha? Sakti means attachment. And we already defined what attachment is. Attachment is what? An expectation is there. Expectation should be there. Without an expectation, nobody cannot do anything. But then I depend on the results of my actions for my security, for my happiness. This is the normal. Every person looks at their life like that. If something happens, I will be happy. If something does not happen, I will be devastated. This is how things are. And so that person is called a Sakta. That person is also called a Sakta because dependent, driven by raga-dweshas and dependent on all kinds of outcomes. I am dependent on the entire world for my happiness. How I can be ever happy? Not possible. And so that person is called a Sakta. So look at this. Saktaha karmani, let me split it. Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yatha kurvanti Bharat. So kurvanti Bharat. Hey Bharata, hey Arjuna, just as yatha. So yatha tatha, there must be a tatha here in this. Yeah, second line you can see tatha. So just as avidvamsaha, that's the noun there, that's the subject. avidvamsaha. Okay, it's a very interesting word. So Sanskrit students, this is sakaranta pullinga. Vidvas, that is the pratipadikam, vidvas. And the way it declines is vidwan, vidvamsau, vidvamsaha. So vidwan, we all know the word vidwan. That comes from this vidvas shabda, sakaranta pullingam. So plural of vidwan. So avidvamsaha, those who are not wise. Those who are not wise means those who are not alive to this reality, this knowledge, that those people are called avidvamsaha. So just as those people means the average person, you can say, kurvanti, do, they engage, karmani saktaha bhutva. Okay, in action, they're attached to their actions, they're attached to the results, they are bound by the results. And that's how everybody is. Just as those people, like those people, kuryat, look at the second line, kuryat vidwan. Okay, I'm splitting the second line. Okay, watch this. Kuryat vidwan tatha asaktaha chikirshu loka sangraham. Okay. So like that, those people, the ignorant people who go about leading their lives but are heavily attached to the results of their actions, like that the wise person should do. Look at that. Wise person also should do like that. How? What do you mean? You mean the wise person should do like the unwise person, otherwise person? Yeah, should do. But remaining unattached, asaktaha. Look at that. How beautiful it is, right? Asaktaha. Previously asaktaha. Here asaktaha. And referring to vidwan. Tatha asaktaha vidwan or vidwan asaktaha bhutva, remaining unattached, the wise person do. May the wise person do actions, lead a life. So what is the difference between these two people? Difference is one person is attached to karma and karma phalam, another person is not. That is the difference. What is the similarity? Both of them are doing the same thing. Both of them have the same enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is same enthusiasm, same dharma. Dharma is same, underlying dharma is there, same. And so that's the similarity. Difference is there is no anxiety, there is no concern, because there's no because this is an asakta. No concern is there. To be done, doing what is to be done, and therefore there cannot be anxiety, there cannot be concern. Take it as it comes, as they say. So here we should be careful to again understand that it is not because there is no expectation. We're not saying do not expect results. That's not correct. We already clarified that. Do not expect results is a wrong statement, because mandopi na pravartate. Even a madcap cannot do things without an expectation. And so even Krishna has, when he does, there is an expectation. If I play the flute, some music should come. I expect some music to come, and if it doesn't come, I need to look at my flute, what happened, Did some of these gopis, are they playing a game with me or what? And they did something to this. I need to figure out what that is. So expectation is there. Without the expectation, nobody can lead a proper life. So expectation is what makes our life reasonable, logical, meaningful, all our actions meaningful. Otherwise it will be meaningless. Yesterday I had to duplicate a bunch of keys, because I lost the key bunch. Somewhere it went and I searched, I couldn't find it. And so I finally managed to get all the originals, and then I went to the store, and then he did that. He's a young boy, and father was he was on vacation or something. So he was helping his father, and he did it. And some problems were there, and he did not use the right key or something. I went home, I opened the door, it didn't open. I went back to him, and then he tried to fix it. Then I said, well, I offered him, let's go to my place, you fix it there, you get your tools. And so we had an argument, and then he came with me, I got him here, and then he did something and he fixed it. And he went back. On the way back, I asked him, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing 12th grade. And we talked a little bit. Then I said, what do you want to be? What do you want to do after 12th grade? I want to do IAS. I said, wow, this is amazing. And then I asked him, why do you want to study IAS? Because as a young child, from a young age, I wanted to do IAS. Okay. And I asked him, what kind of job will you get after you study IAS? He said, I don't know. Then I don't know. Then I had to explain, and I'm not going to sit quiet with this fellow now. Having spent so many hours teaching Gita and all these things, I'm not going to sit quietly and listen to this fellow like this. I'm going to not let him go. So I gave some examples. Hey, your friend tells you, I'm going to Mumbai. And what will be your next question? Why are you going to Mumbai suddenly? And you're a Coimbatore person. You have never seen the outside world. You haven't even gone to Chennai. And where is the question of going to Mumbai, right? And you'll ask the question, why? So I'm going to ask you the question, why do you want to do IAS? So like that, we had a nice, interesting conversation. And he wanted my telephone number and all that, which I gave. But so that expectation is always there. We always have, we always do things with an expectation. So never should we say that we should not expect results. Expectation results is the most practical thing. Only then we can do the right thing. How can you do the right thing without expecting results? Yeah, not possible. So, and Swamiji clarifies that all the time, because the popular translation that is in vogue is that do not expect results. So anyway, so here let's translate it. So two more words are there: Chikirshu, Loka Sangraham, Chikirshu. So that word is not unfamiliar to you. Mumukshu, and then Jignasuhu. So like that, we've heard some words. So the one who desires to do something is called a Chikirshu. One who desires. So Kartum Ichuhu, desires to do. And what kind of desire to do what? Loka Sangraham, for the benefit of people, of the world. Like that it said here. So let's translate this shloka. Hey Arjuna, oh Bharata, last word in the first line. Oh Bharata, okay. Just as the, what shall we say, ignorant people, karma, or unwise people, ignorant may be a better word, who are attached to the results, saktaha, okay. So avidvamsaha, yatha avidvamsaha, saktaha, so who are attached to the results, karma, perform action karmani kurvanti, okay. So karmani kurvanti is not correct. Karmani saktaha we can say. Kurvanti, okay, perform action, comma, so too would the wise perform action. Tatha vidwan kuryat. Okay, tata vidvan kuryat, comma, but within brackets, but without attachment. Asakta, without attachment, comma, desirous of doing that which is for the protection of the people. Desirous of doing that, Chikirshu, which is for the protection of the people. Loka sangraham. Loka means people. So, O Arjuna, just as the unwise or ignorant, comma, who are attached to the results, comma, perform action, comma, so too would the wise perform action, comma, within brackets, but without attachment, comma, desirous of doing that which is for the protection of the people. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.